So we've gotten to play all of the new creative map game modes Epic made to showcase the new Unreal editor. If you want to hear more about that, I'll be dropping a video checking out the software. And in the meantime, we got to play some rounds of Deserted Domination, made in the Unreal Engine editor, and I swear it brings me back to playing Metal Gear Online and Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So come check that out. So when you start a match or you die, you get to choose a new loadout. Infantry is good for groundwork. Then you've got Scout. It's going to give you a long-range advantage. Defender is a heavy hitter MLG. Sapper offers trap and ground defense. Sniper is a variant of Scout with a longer scope. Trooper is for those who like accurate SMGs. And finally, Shotgunner is great for close-up encounters. The object of this game mode is simple. Contest the enemy long enough while claiming siege to the 3 flag locations on the map. What I like the most about the design of this game mode is that every loadout feels useful. But of course, as you get used to the map, you're going to find that some loadouts work better for you than others.
Choose your loadout.
With a fast-paced game mode like this, I really prefer infantry. I like moving quick, I like being able to take on the enemy and firing enough bullets that they don't get a moment to breathe. Grenade kills feel so good and they're great for clearing out rooms, but you want to make sure your guns are reloaded for the next fight you get into. It's a very fast-paced match and you're not always going to win. After dying, you spawn in a little bunker, and it's actually a safe haven where you can't take any damage. For such a medium-sized map, there's so much going on, it's hard to keep track of everything that's happening in the battlefield. Keep your wits about and keep moving forward. Try not to go in solo because it doesn't always end well. It took a while to get used to the game mode, but it became very rewarding to just be able to gun through crowds of distracted enemies as they took on your fellow players. But be careful because Deserted Domination will humble your kill streaks quickly if you get sloppy. I thought I would try a different style of gameplay, so I chose the Sapper loadout. The Sapper loadout is all about playing second defense for your base. In a good offense maneuver, you can even use these trip mines to mark enemies and track their movement, making this a great supporting loadout for your team. The hammer hits quickly like an SMG, but as hard as an assault rifle. And followed up with an SMG, you're going to have no problem cutting down an enemy's health. We had 11 minutes on the clock, but you can tell by the counter, we were not going to win this one. The enemy was up by definitely 200 points, and they were just 50 away from winning. No matter what we did at this point, it was a no-go, and we actually wind up losing the first and the second match. At this point, I was trying to figure out how to win this game mode. I already tried running and gunning, and that didn't do it so well for our team. So we didn't give up, and we kept persisting. Now, I knew at this point that running and gunning was not going to work, so I wanted to really engage and start taking over the bases. And, well, that went as well as you would have expected it to go on my second game. We definitely had some action-packed moments, but even those were short-lived. We did take over a couple of bases, and at one point held all of the bases.
Enemies reported at Zone C. A new zone has been captured. All zones captured.
Of course, for every win that we got, and every action-packed shootout, we were hit twice as hard. Until finally, we were in the same position we were in last round, and there was no turning this match around. They were up again by 200. We took a nasty blow to the ego, and some of our teammates may have even left. But we were getting better, and now we knew the terrain. Things were about to change. We had 3 rounds to get it together so that we could possibly get ahead. And so I went with the heavy hitter. I realized that running and gunning was not going to cut it, and honestly I shouldn't waste my time capturing the flag when I know how to kill. Unfortunately, my aim was terrible. I'm kidding, I went in there and we cleaned house. and the kills just kept coming. I didn't focus on the base. I went right after the enemies, and I wanted to support my team while they took the base. The enemy thought they had us figured out. Rush the base, take us out, take over, win. But with me sneaking up behind them, they didn't stand a chance. Except for that guy. He did pretty good. No stone was left unturned, and no enemy was left unhit. We went all out and just started hitting every enemy we could lay eyes on. This match was a bloodbath, and we were running the Japanese bathhouse. For every 2 hits they may have gotten on us, we took one of them out. Oh yeah, and it was about this time that I figured out that our spawns were safe houses. I wasn't doing any damage to them. It was game over for me. But it didn't matter because our team just kept winning. The match went on, and I continued to not give these guys a moment to breathe. We kept our magazines empty and the enemy's health low the entire match. And best of all, I wasn't doing it alone. My teammates had a second win and absolutely came back. After taking base B, we went after C, and we even wound up getting A. We had gotten our first victory of the match. We had 2 more matches to really prove ourselves. We had a rough time contesting the enemy this round, so I wanted to change things up a little bit, and I started going after their weaker bases. I took over base A, and our whole team was able to contest base B, and we were able to hold it the rest of the game. Really, I just kept circling around this area and getting the drop on the player trying to fight me at this base. The heat was on, and the enemies were back with vengeance. It was really hard to get the upper hand on this team. When we went high, they went low, and when we went low, they went high. Fortunately, we had a couple of good kills where we got to throw them off guard, but it was really hard to compete. Fortunately, the crew came in clutch, and we got the second victory royale of the match. With 4 rounds down, we had 1 round to go to decide the winner. This was it. We were all in. Rounds 1 and 2 were a bust, but 3 and 4 were absolute wins, and this was our last chance to prove ourselves. The enemies started getting sloppy. They started turning their backs and letting their guard down. There was nowhere safe for them to hide where we didn't have an angle on them. And soon they started retreating from their posts. They had nowhere to go, and soon they were just scrambling. We were around every corner, and they were on the run. The tides of war had finally turned, and we had the upper hand. Flag C was the last point we had to capture, but it didn't matter. We were ahead by 200 points, and the match was just about over. With Flag C contained, we had all 3 flags in our possession with 450 points. The enemies were now in the same position we were in earlier. No matter what they did, there was no way they could have won. All of our hard work paid off. Our team made an absolute comeback, even being in the lower numbers from the beginning of the match. And with that, we had gotten our final victory royale and won the entire match. Deserted Domination was so nostalgic to play. The level design built in the Unreal Engine editor gave the map remnants of what made the PlayStation 4 game so great, and it really has me looking forward to what the Fortnite community might create next. I hope to see a hide-and-go-seek game mode like that of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood Online, or recreated maps from GoldenEye 64 like Facility. Thanks for sticking around until the end of the video, and if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. And if you want to see a walkthrough of the space inside, the final map made by Epic to highlight Creator 2.0's ability, I'll be rolling that out in my next video. I also hope to cover the Season 1 map remakes, so look forward to that.